I've had a lot of different conversations with people, and it's funny because I always start the conversation off with, different questions about themselves, and it always seems to me that people love change on the surface, that they like new jobs, they like more money, they like losing weight. There's a lot of things that we like about change, the idea of change. But it's funny because there's this another internal aspect that I always see about people, that we resist change a lot. We like to talk about it, but in the insides, we do not like this thing called change. Jesus had this way of teaching, this most amazing way of teaching where things just struck you into the inner core of your being. And it's funny because he doesn't teach to the surface, he teaches right here to the heart. And I think when people become a Christian, right, we accept Christ into our life, we said, yes, He is the way, the truth, and the life. There are certain things that come with that. And I think sometimes we forget the magnitude of what that actually means. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, his wife and children, his brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. I'm probably like you, when you read the verse, you're thinking, okay, did Jesus really say that? Because, man, that just seems like non-Christian. It seems non-Christian-like. And if you read beyond those verses, you start to see what he's getting at. It's this amazing teaching point, because you think about how much do you love your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your kids. I mean, you love them beyond measure, unconditionally, and he's setting up this point to say, hey, look, how much you love them is how much it's going to cost to be my disciple. He's just showing the magnitude, how vast, how big it is to really become a student of his. And I don't think sometimes we consider the cost. If you look further beyond it, it says, hey, look, if you're about to go to war, you would consider the cost of going to war. If you're about to build a home, you would consider the cost it takes to build the home. And he says that's the same type of reverence, it's the same type of thought that we should have when we consider the cost of being his disciple. Jesus was on this process of taking these 12 students of his to understand how to become more and more like him. I mean, he loved them, he showed grace to them, he disciplined them. I know a lot of times that in life when we get discipline or some kind of perseverance in our lives, we don't like that. We resist that change. And because of it, we can't become more and more like him, because that's exactly what Christ did. He didn't do anything on his own power. He did everything what the Father told him to do. And there's this process of emptying of self in discipleship, ridding of your own self. And now some people are afraid of that because they think, well, wait a minute, I like the way I am. And it's not all aspects of you, it's just this aspect of where we're just off of center and we need to be aligned with his will. All right, we're here at our Getting Back to the Basics outdoor whiteboard, and we're talking about discipleship. And let's just imagine for a second that you are here. And a lot of times in life, unfortunately, we end out in this place right here, and we'll call this bad works. We do this on our own power, right? And the Bible calls this sin. And unfortunately, this always ends up leading into pain, not a good place to be in life. So a lot of us try on our own power, right, to do good works, do things that are good, right? Truth, grace, love, all on our own power. And that's always a good thing. People benefit from it. We benefit from it. But Christ doesn't call us to do good things. He calls us to follow him and to be in his will. And I know this is the way to be, because if we do his will, we end up having good works. And so many times we battle between these two roads when Christ says, just follow me and everything else will work out. Then he called the crowd to him along with his disciples and said, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." I want you to do something this week. I want you to consider the cost. If you have said that you're a Christian and you have said that this is what you want to do, you want to follow Christ, I want you to consider the cost, the magnitude of what that means. And I want you to look, ask these questions, am I in sin, am I in bad works, or am I trying just to become a good person, or am I trying to follow His will? Because that is what it's all about, is trying to become more and more like Jesus.